Okay, hey everybody. I'm gonna start this one with a place we'd all rather be, I'm sure. Not here trading crypto all day. We'd rather be done with it all. And as my namesake shows, bike for sale. I have been riding my bike more now that things have gotten warmer. Of course, here in Texas, things are always warm, it seems like. We don't have much of a winter. But I was just thinking, if there's any of you out there postponing getting out and, being active, don't put it off, because there's nothing more important to your health. I mean, if you think about it, it's just as important as making money. You have opportunities, more opportunities when you're healthy. Friends might ask you out, you may not feel like it, but if you're healthy, you'll want to go do those things, and it just opens up more opportunities. You don't really need money to have a good life. It helps, though. So yeah, just want to encourage you on that. Just something I was thinking of. I have a couple of different things. We will look at smart money, although there's not a whole lot going on. There are some things like OPSEC that are being accumulated. And let's see, I was going to show you Parsiq, which is it's an RWA play that I think can do really well. Or sorry, that's an AI play that can do well. And I'm going to do a quick deep dive on that. And then what else are we going to look at? Yeah, we'll just look at some other, smart money tokens that look like they could have a good move pretty soon, once the market turns back up. And we're going to look at the market in general. So these are some of the tools that I used. I mean, I already felt like the mid-cycle top was coming based on my, let's see, do I have that one? Yeah, here it is right here. Based on my presidential chart that I made a couple of years ago. And I'll just show you real quick before I get into Bitcoin and stuff. If you look back here in 2012, around the time when the presidential election happens in the US, that's when things break out every single time. And a lot of people want to say, well, this time's different. It's not going to happen the same way. Maybe. But what I'm looking at is it hasn't changed yet. So until I see something that tells me it is going to change, I'm going to stick to trying to get an idea what's going to happen based on the historical facts that has happened. So here's 2012 midterms. It was the bottom. Having happened, had a dip, breakout after the U.S. presidential election 2016. And these are liquidity cycles. I mean, it's not like it's the presidential election that's causing this, but it's nice to use it as a timer because it's easy to understand for most people. Here is 2016 midterms. Bottom happened shortly after. Kind of an anomaly here with the 2020 thing, but right around halving, we did have that dip, and then it started moving up, had one more dip, and then presidential election in 2020, it took off. This down here, by the way, is the Fear Greed Index, and there are some similarities. I mean, if you see it touching this line here like it is here, and it came down, I think it kind of worked out. It kind of worked out the same way here on halving. I don't remember what the halving was here, but I would imagine somewhere in that area. So yeah, it all seems pretty close. And then also I have this where, how many days is this? It's 1,071 days from bottom to top. So each time the bottom to the top on each one of these 1,071 days, that would put us on October 2025. And I'm not saying it has to happen, but that's what I'm looking at for a possible, it's one of the options that could happen. And if it was going to happen that way, then we would kind of just have a choppy move up like we always have. And there will be some scares on the way up. People will think that the market's over, but it'll keep going. So if we extend into 2025, this is the date that I'd be looking for, sometime in late 2025. What would that be? October, November, December? Yeah, so the start of Q4. And it could happen, late Q3 or something as well. But what I'll be watching for is to see if we can get above this breakout area. So you should always have areas where, it's resistance or support. If it breaks down at support, then you're not bullish until it gets above that area. If it breaks above resistance, then as long as it holds that area, then you're very bullish. And you should always have these thoughts in your mind that you can validate or say, well, no, it's not going to happen that way because it didn't make it past this one point. Yeah, so that's the presidential chart. Currently, we're in the greed area or coming out of it. And anytime that happens, usually you'll get about halfway down here, you'll get a move back up. That's how it's happened in the past, like that one right there. So that's what we'd be looking for. And it doesn't have to come down much. It could pop up right about here as well. So just watching it week by week. And that's kind of what this is about. I think I just messed it up. So this is from Nansen Alpha. They worked this up for us. Well, here's the stablecoin. This is another thing that helped me find the mid-cycle top. So around March 15th, I was telling everybody all the way up to the 1st of April, I said, take profits, keep profits on the side, because you're going to be able to make a whole lot more money coming back up. And I can actually show you that right here. What's the name of it? I'll just type in mid. So March 1st, actually, I was talking about it just to get people thinking about it all the way through March. And there was another point where I mentioned it again. Somewhere here. Oh, here it is. So March 18th. I was basically saying crypto Twitter was going to start going silent because Bitcoin, I think the top was March 15th. And it ended up being this was correct. So I was letting our group, our Discord group know, keep some money on the side. I was even letting Twitter know, it's not like I was just telling our Discord group. And if, by the way, you are interested in our Discord group or in a discount on Nansen, all you got to do is look down there in the description below and you'll see the links for those things. But yeah, we're able to get people out when things are going to retrace, save money. When you buy these dips, when you have money sitting there on the side and buy these dips, like say, for example, PRQ I'm going to talk about here in a minute. I don't think, yeah, that's a bad example, actually. Trying to think of one. I guess you could use TPU as an example, but it's not the best. I really wanted to find a better one. So TPU, a lot of people think that it's a rug pull. I don't think so. I see the same pattern as what Sturdy did right here. And I just think it needs time to play out here, like an inverted head and shoulders it'll do eventually, I believe. But look how much money you could have saved here. And this is just one example. There's a lot of tokens that went down, 60, 70, 90%. This one went down about 99%, I believe. So probably going to buy somewhere in here if it falls down one more time. And who knows, it could be a rug, but to me, it doesn't look like it yet. I'm still seeing the pattern there. I still believe it can recover. And if it does, then, if you were to play here to here, if it did get back up to there, that would be like it'd be a lot of money anyway. Yeah, 100x. Even the people that bought this dip right here, they made a 10x just coming back up here to support. So if this is a rug, how could somebody make 10x off of it? It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, so anyway, in our Discord, we talk about a lot of stuff like that, and it helps people make money. AMMX was one that we were accumulating right in here, and then it took off. One of the few tokens that actually went up while Bitcoin was going down. So, we find plays like this. It's not easy. There's not many tokens that are going up, but anytime the market is bullish, you can pretty much throw a dart at something and it's going to go up. So it's the times when Bitcoin is down that you have to really work hard to find good plays. So let's go. Oh yeah, I was going to show you this. Yeah, stablecoin accumulation. This is smart money. They started accumulating stable tokens. What is this? 11%. So they were down as low as about 3% stables in their wallets overall on average, and now it went up to 11%, and now it's back down to 7% or so. So we could start seeing an accumulation of stable tokens for a short period of time, and then it'll drop back down, and that's when the real bull market will stop or start. Why is this music doing this? Okay. Don't really like that part of the music. All right, this is the other one I wanted to show you. Sorry, I got distracted there. So this, make sure I get this right. So this is the entry threshold here at the bottom, and this is the exit threshold, meaning whenever these lines are down here, and these are just moving average lines is all it is. Whenever they're down here at the bottom, that's where you buy. When they're up here, that's where you sell. This was July 2021. Actually, when it first crossed right here in April, that was the time to sell. And then when it had one more move up here right at the end of July, that was another point that you could have bought. I think it was more like this. Yeah, June, July. Yeah, right there. So as this thing turned up, this purple line, that was the time to buy, but then you had to get back out pretty quick. And that was that 69K top in November 2021. So what we're looking for is whenever the purple line's turning down, which is the faster moving average, you can see the purple line is the 30-day above the 360-day. So it's usually using two different moving averages, a fast and a slow one, to determine how bullish the market is. And there's three different ones here. There's a 30, a 90, and a 180, and they're all being compared against the 360-day. So this is another thing that I saw. This was starting to roll over, and we saw it here as well. Back in April, it was turning down, and then in October, it was turning up. So this was the perfect time to buy back into the market. And you could have bought in back here actually to January 2023, but you would have had to wait for longer. So what I'm looking for is I'm waiting for this purple line to start turning back up. And you can see even these slower comparisons here, the gold and the blue line are starting to roll over a little bit as well. But just remember that those lag a lot more, whereas the purple one, it's a more short term, so it will fluctuate more. It's more like a variable. What's the thing I'm thinking of? It's more like an exponential moving average in a way, the way that it moves. And if you want to skip through any of this, feel free to. I always timestamp this stuff if you don't want to look through the stuff here. But this is more macro. All right, here's total 3. Here's the volume profile from the top to the bottom. Actually, I think I extended it right over here because it was equal to this. And you can see that the point of control is actually way down here, near the bottom. And once it got above that point of control and held it, especially once it got above this resistance line, it took off. And if I'm comparing to where we're at currently, then I say, we're about right there. The reason for that is we're clearly above. I mean, if you look at the structure, they look very similar here. And I'm not saying we're going to take off right away. I think, May 13th to the 21st is about when I think we're going to finally find that bottom and start moving up again. Another way you can look at it is the fib lines here. It had trouble as it came back up right here at the golden pocket. And these aren't exact. These aren't going to be the exact same because there is a chance that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move where it could come up to the 1272 and maybe even stay under 100K Bitcoin. We just have to see how everything plays out. I think we could either see that or we could see the extension. If we get a top this year, then we'd probably only make it here to the 1272. But if we extend out to October 2025 or later, even mid 2025, then we might see something like up here the 2272 or the 1618. So the more we can extend the timeline, the more money we can make, and I think everybody's fine with that. They're okay with things extending. So we're basically just rejecting right around the golden pocket here. And it could come down here and touch the 0.5 again. It almost touched it there. Or maybe we're just done and it's going to go sideways for a bit and then take off. But we will be watching for at least another top this year because they always happen, right? I mean, even if we extend to next year, there's always some kind of temporary top. And then just going back to this, if you look at the figures here on the right, these figures that are popping up, it's basically saying where we're at currently anyway, that we're about halfway. We're somewhere around 50% and even up to 65% done with the, with the full bull market. And you have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I'm not saying that this thing's right, because it could still roll over and then the numbers would change. But that tells me that the mid-cycle idea makes sense because these are close to 50% numbers. So hopefully that makes sense to you as well. Yeah, we talked about AMMX. Let's get into Parsiq, and then I'll get into some smart money plays. Here is the, before I talk about Parsiq deep dive, here's the Parsiq chart. And I've already got the, all the take profit areas and everything. And then here is the money flow. It's still in the red on the weekly. And then the daily, let me take this thing off because I know it's kind of hard to see what the money flow is doing with these on. All right, that's better. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of going up and down. I'd rather see it into the green money flow before getting excited about it. But we are sitting right on a support line. And I think there is some downside risk, maybe as much as 50%. But the upside is, the upside's massive on this one. I do believe it can get close to TP3, which even if you dipped back down to here and created some kind of inverted head and shoulders to TP1, you're looking at 6x. Wait, what was that? Yeah, 6x and then 40x and then, over 100x anyway. And the reason why, let's just look at the fibs here. It might have a lot of trouble right here at the 6.5, so it may not hit TP1 right away if it does start moving up. And it could even, fall within this range and hit TP1 exactly. But I would be taking some profits there, hoping that I might get a little bit of a dip and buy even more of it. But you can see that's where I got my TP lines from, was these fib lines. I feel really confident about this one at the very least, but yeah, I still think it can get to TP3. So I like this project. Well, I'm okay with the project anyway. It seems unique. I don't really know that a lot of these projects are real. Maybe they are. But you can see the money flow does seem to be tapering up to green, possibly. It's kind of making a higher low here. It needs to find support soon, though. And then if we look at the backers of, they've got some impressive backing, during the IEO rounds and the private fundraising. Binance Labs obviously is a tier one, well, they call them an incubator, but a lot of these are venture capitalist firms. Well, Solana, Solana's another incubator in it. So it's even got an angel investor. So these people don't like to lose money. I mean, here's a couple more angel investors. They're going to do their homework, and there is a team that is doxed there. They got their most of their team doxed anyway, and people want to see that. So you got VCs backing it, you got a team backing it, you know who the team is and what they've done in the past, which I haven't really looked at their LinkedIn or anything, but feel pretty strongly about this project. I like their website. They've got a use case thing here where it can be used for Web3 games. They kind of cover most of the narratives anyway. NFTs, you can use it for research and analysis like we do with smart money. It can be used for trading platforms. So they help to build apps using AI, APIs and stuff. It's for devs mostly, I think. It's reliable and fast, customizable, easy integration. Let's see what this says. Yeah, so it's like big data, which AI definitely needs to be able to grab that data, from the server farm, wherever it is, to be able to run these apps. So it's definitely a massive part of infrastructure that has to be there for the AIs to pull from. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like a fake project to me, just based on what I'm looking at on the website, the team backing it and stuff like that. You do have to be careful because there are a lot of fake projects out there. Yeah, it looks like they're active on Twitter, so that's good. Looks like they're also posting they're posting when, you know, certain projects work with them, so that's good. Yeah, so you can check that out if you want. What is it? Twitter.com/Parsiq_net. And here's some insights as far as who is following this project and who's interested in it. KuCoin, Injective, Metis. Spider Crypto is the first individual account that I see on here that has, well, wait, smart followers. That's what I want to look at. Okay, Adam Cochran. I don't know who that is. It's an influencer, a member of Synthetics. And then, yeah, Spider Crypto has a lot of smart money people following him. Looks like he's a founder of some things. And then Jane Lippincott, she has a lot of followers as well. Oh, she's a member of A16Z, the venture capitalist firm. So yeah, there's a lot of VCs following this. Looks like there's 9. A lot of projects following it. Yeah. And then funds following it in general. These two, like the fund official Twitter is following it as well. Let's see, as far as interest, not a whole lot of interest lately, but that's just the way it goes when the market's down. Looks like the follower totals, you know, staying pretty normal. It's got 46 smart followers according to Moni. This is called discover.getmoni.io. So yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I'm probably going to enter it at some point. I'm kind of waiting on the middle of the month just to see what happens with Bitcoin, and maybe I'll enter it there. So let's move on and try to look at some smart money stuff. So you can only get access to this hot contracts thing where it'll show you inflow in the last hour if you have the professional version of Nansen, and you don't really need the professional version. It is helpful for me because the Discord group that we run, I'm able to give them more insights. But, you know, I was just thinking, I remember now, we found desync using this, and I believe I made a post in our group about that. Let's see. Yeah, here it is right here. I said, look how early we found desync, Genius, BVM, Mazzy, Shuffle, APU. This was a snapshot taken on Nansen hot contracts in March. This is how we got a 37x on desync. And I was letting them know once things are bullish again, which shouldn't be too much longer, maybe a couple of weeks, I'll be watching this closely. And at the time, desync only had one smart money wallet, and I think it was less than 2 million total market cap. So we got in very early. And sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. You know, we got lucky to find it, but all the information's here. You just got to put the work in. I have been seeing this 3 protocol show up a lot. It does have one smart money wallet join the last 24 hours. This RQ one, it's been getting a lot of attention, but I don't know much about it. I'm not going to look these up because they're brand new. I mean, I'd have to do more research into them. But here's some if you want to look them up. Arky, XNet 3. This one's like democracy spelled weird, DMC, RCY, and then spec. I think that's about it as far as the... Well, here's another one, ENTC. That one's got a smart money wallet. This one must be brand new. Zero mode, Trump with an E. Let me just look at that one, that brand new one. What was that? ENTC. Sometimes these are hard to look up, especially if there's tokens with the same name. Okay, this one, I'm looking at one off screen here. This one's brand new as well. Let's see if I can copy this and bring it up. This could be it. Wow, somebody bought a lot of it. Or they transferred it. This is a very old token that went down to basically nothing. Wonder why they bought so much. I'm actually not sure on this one. Yeah, it does have a... Oh, they actually sold some of it. Okay. If this is the right one, it could be something to look into. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm looking at the right one or not. Let's see if it shows up this way. Yeah, that must be it, unless it's this one. And it's down so much. This could be a pattern playing out. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it could curl up here. I don't know, it's risky just because it's still bearish. I mean, none of this is financial advice, but this thing's down 99%. So yeah, just be careful with ones like that. It can keep going down, even if it's 99% down. Okay, what was that look? Oh yeah, hot contracts. Yeah, so I don't really see anything that interesting yet, but I'll keep looking. I'll see if I can find something. So let's look at smart money and just in general, see what they're looking at. And I want to filter this. This is real time to see what they're buying currently. I want to filter this at least $5,000. I want to see what the higher conviction trades are. I have noticed that this is the wait, what is this called again? I want to make sure I get it right. Yeah, this is called the Doge NFT, so it's different than Doge, obviously. The name's a little bit different. But there have been quite a few smart money buying this one. Just be aware that it could still come down to, you know, 008 or something right in here on this shoulder. It could hold here, but it could still come down some. GROK I've seen quite a bit lately. Seems like people have interest in that. OLAS is another one. Genius, I don't know why people are still buying this one, because they did say they were, after the crash, they were going to issue a new token, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Let's see, we'll look at BasedAI. SFUND is a strong project. I know a lot of you probably like Render. I mean, sometimes when I don't click on these, it's because they already have such a high market cap. Render's a great project, obviously, but I just don't want to get into it because I want to find things that have a chance to go up more. And you'll see that, you know, some of these smart money wallets are still going to stables like USDC there, or maybe they're going, like there's a couple more USDC, or maybe they're going into wrapped ETH. Pepo's been showing up to, oh, it's already up 381%. Yeah, I probably wouldn't mess with that because it's up already. Some people think that this Trump token, which I think it's the MAGA Trump token, will do well leading into the presidential election, and it might. Prime is a strong project, but it's a fairly high market cap. I mean, you can see there's just not a whole lot going on here. There's maybe a handful of tokens. OLM finally started going, didn't it? I know some of the people in our group are in OLM. Yeah, SFUND's getting bought. MUBI. There's another MUBI there. So people definitely see the... Oh yeah, Ondo. People are seeing the value in some of these. But, you know, here you go again, USDT going to ETH. Oh, DEAI, that was the one that was showing up. And a lot of these are like, it's like the bot accounts, the ones that buy and sell a lot that are buying these. And although they've done really well, I don't really like to follow those wallets too much. Butterfly was showing up some. Yeah, I remember that one. Okay, well, let's just go with those and we'll look into them more. Yeah, GROK is having a nice little uptrend. Let's see what smart money have bought. There's somebody there that bought a lot of it. And none of the wallets that I follow are in this one. It's kind of been up and down, choppy. You know, last 7 days there's been a couple people selling. You know, last 24 hours buying and selling. So I don't think it's ready quite yet. This one's turning up nicely. What is this, OLAS? It was real popular before. It was real popular before the dip. I think a lot of people were buying as it went up like this. So yeah, this isn't a bad one. You know, not financial advice on any of this, of course, but this isn't a bad one to consider anyway. It's got a steady climb on it currently. Just be aware, you know, we could still be choppy into later this month. BasedAI is getting some volume. Yeah, there's one of those bots right there. Let's see if there's any other wallet. Oh yeah, so we've got another wallet that we like to follow in there that's got 500,000 in it. So this could be another, you know, you could consider this one for a longer term play maybe. Yeah, who knows on these teams. I'm not really sure if this team is doxed or not. Even if they are doxed, sometimes, you know, you can get a token that crashes down and then takes a while to recover. You got one sell within the last 24 hours, but they're holding a lot of tokens, so they may have just needed some money for something else. SFUND is a really good project, seems like. And somebody bought 54,000 worth. Let's see if there's any of our... Yeah, there's only one... Wait, what? Shows they bought 54,000, but I guess they didn't. Okay, so we're going to skip that one. And then OLM... Oh yeah, there's a lot of our wallets in this one. There's one person that bought here. I think I'll actually look at the chart on this one. It's interesting enough. Okay, I didn't have one for this one already made. Yeah, that's the right one. Bull flag had another move up. It is in the green on money flow, but you're starting to hit these areas of resistance, so you got to make sure it's going to break through those. You could be buying resistance here instead of buying support. The reason why it held here is this left shoulder. Yeah, it hit the 0.5 line exactly. That'd have been a really good play. Usually when you get a big move, it's at least going to retrace to 0.5, you know, the 50% retrace level. Sometimes just a bit under it. And you do get some weak ones that come down all the way to the golden pocket or the 0.786. So it's not always going to hold at 0.5, but at least you get a good value, you know, rather than buying it way up here. Okay, MUBI. Wow, that person bought a lot of it. This was one of the first ones that I bought when I purchased Nansen. And none of the wallets are in it that I know, so I don't know that I'm going to play this one again, but it's still a good project. I think this one could do really well, DEAI. Yeah, we got a lot of our wallets in it. This is one that we called to the group early on. Wonder how much did this one go down? I do have this chart. I believe we bought this one pretty much when it launched, or somebody in our group did anyway. I think this is the right one. Yeah, 0-1, okay. So you can see it's rejecting off that resistance area. Could just be consolidating one more time for another move up. Usually on that third attempt, you got one attempt, two, maybe it comes down one more time. This would be a good place to add some. It is down 71%. I mean, some of these do go down 90%, so what would that be? That'd be all the way down to here somewhere. Not saying it's going to, just, you know, be careful if this support line gets lost. As long as it's above the support line, you're good. And it is bullish according to the AI intelligence score there. Okay, so Axelar, I haven't looked at this one in a while, but it is one that popped up for a while there. Don't know anything about the project though. Yeah, there's no wallets in it, so we'll skip that one. Planet is way down. There are a couple, okay, so there's a good fund in this one. This wallet doesn't have any though. I don't know, this one doesn't seem all that interesting to me, just based on the movement. Yeah, it's got some work to do to recover. And then the last one we'll look at here is Butterfly. So there's a good fund in it. This could end up being a bullish move out of this bearish. Actually, it's more like a bullish. I don't know how to explain it. It looks like a bearish pattern, but it ends up being bullish coming out of it. I guess is the thing I was thinking about. I will look at the chart on this one. Yeah, there's another. This person doesn't trade that often. They're usually pretty early though. I wonder if that was them moving tokens or if they bought it. Thought I had, oh yeah, I've got this one up. Yeah, I'd probably treat it like that. If you got a candle close above this trend line, then it could be a good play. But I would watch this carefully, you know, if it did break above it. I think that's about the support line. It's close anyway. I'd have to take more time to get it right, but you know, anywhere in this range, if you get a candle close on a daily candle below that, then it's probably not worth it anymore. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad. I don't know anything about the project on this one either. And you really don't have to. You know, most of these projects are fake anyway. They're just having money laundered through them. Okay. Yeah, APU is fairly bullish right now as well. It still needs to get up above this this wick right there though. And I think we talked about everything I wanted to. Yeah. Okay, so we'll end it there. I'll try to do another one this week. We'll see if I have time to. You know, like I was talking about at the beginning. Well, you know, like and subscribe if you haven't done so. If you've made it this far, you know, if you like it, then other people can see it. And smart money does make you a lot of money, by the way. So it's worth watching these videos because sometimes you can find a real gem, and not a gem because of the project, but a gem because of how much return it gives you. But you know, like we were talking about at the beginning, make sure to you know, now that things are nicer outside. I've got a friend in Canada that said things are finally starting to warm up there. You know, get out there and, you know, don't worry about making money so much all the time. Try to get out there and enjoy life, have experiences. Those are going to mean a whole lot more to you later on, instead of whatever money you have. So just remember, you can't take the money with you when you die. Okay. Well, on that note, I will end it there. Y'all have a good week.